again today live. How you doing? It's Cinnamon Cooney, the Art Sherpa. And if you're here on the replay, you don't know I'm back. But if you've been here live today, you know I'm back because we're going to cover up a follow-up fur clinic. We need to talk about fur. I just saw the thing go by. Are we on?
We are.
On the mic is my husband, John. He follows me around with all the cameras, and he reads comments so that I can answer questions as they happen. And what happened in our How to Paint Your Pet portrait series, we had a lot of very specific fur questions.
We did.
And I was like, man, I don't feel like people are going to be as satisfied as they could be, as thrilled with their portrait as they could be if we don't cover this fur thing. So I'm like, John, if I have some coffee and you get some lunch, are you up for coming back? And he said, I think we need to. So we're back.
Okay. So what
do we have anyone here? Did anyone come back?
There's a whole bunch of people here. But so what really happened was, Cinnamon was like, I'd really like to have a cup of coffee and go do that again. Would you like to? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, let's do it.
You know what I just said?
Yeah, but we were doing this for as much fun because it's.
Oh
fun
yeah, no, but I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't know either.
Okay. Anyways, marriage. John's getting my fur reference pictures pulled up. Mm-hmm. So we really want to thank graphicstock.com. I don't know why I'm thanking them because I have membership there.
Because it's cool that you're using.
They're a good resource.
Yeah.
I use them as a photo resource and also paint my photo for images that I can use. I highly recommend if you're working on your pet and you got control of that camera phone or camera, take them out in some good lighting and get some up-close photographs of their fur. Also highly recommend, maybe your pet has 2 or 3 textures of fur. You know how sometimes pets do? Mm-hmm. They have like some short fur some places, and then some long, crazy, curly fur, and then maybe they get that weird whiskery fur that gets all stained. See, there's a lot of fur on an average pet.
Yeah.
And it does not all have the same personality. And fur has personality. So we got asked about black fur, white fur, brindle fur, tabbies, orange tabbies, curlies, wrinkles, all of that long, short. In the description below, not for you guys on the live, because it won't exist yet, and we haven't quite figured out how to time travel in that way, but in the replay, we're going to time code, make a, what is it called, index?
Table of contents.
Table of contents.
Yeah.
So it'll take you right to the black fur, right to the white fur, like whichever specific fur you want to cover, so that if you're coming on the replay or you're coming back from the live to the replay and you want to go over an idea, concept again, boom, you can get there.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way that we can help everybody.
Yeah.
I hope we like this idea.
No, this is like everybody's loving this. So this is like I have all my buttons pushed. I'm kind of lined up here.
It's going to be all crazy for watch time. So do your best to stay in for as big a chunk of watch time as you can.
I feel like Major Tom back here. I'm all ready to push all the buttons.
Be ready. So what I have to do my fur.
Marty was asking just before we get started here. So
hi, Marty.
Is painting fur the same as painting hair?
Similar, yeah.
Similar?
Really.
I actually don't know.
I don't mean to get all Kung Fu Panda on you, but honestly, painting fur is the same as painting smoke, is the same as painting a rock. You'll go along, and a few decades in, you're like, it's all the same. I am only painting myself. And then you have a real big epiphany moment, which doesn't make you any better at arguing with your teenage daughter, but at least makes you feel more one with the universe or what you're painting. But there's an epiphany, and somewhere in that epiphany you realize it's all the same action. But sometimes in the beginning of your journey, seeing somebody break out a technique or skill.
Yeah, for right now, are we learning the same skills? Like if somebody wanted to paint hair?
Yeah, this will all translate.
Okay, cool.
Every skill secretly informs you about the next skill. It's just crazy. Right? And you go like, I that water skill suddenly informed this glass skill. How'd that happen? You're like, because it's tricky like that. So we have Shep here on the little mic that we did earlier today. If you don't know, we painted Shep, and this was part of our how to take your picture, your photograph, and paint your pet. So there's Shep. Over here we have the palette. Now here's what I like. This is a fur palette. I got some burnt sienna, cad red light. I have some raw sienna, burnt umber, Indian yellow, phthalo blue, titanium white, and Mars black. Probably not that different of a palette from most other animal portrait artists. Probably not. And we're going to start out with white and black, a brindle, and an orange tabby.
Cool.
So here's the basic deal. So black fur.
Now,
the black fur, yes?
Before you jump in there, because
Okay, why am I not jumping in?
we have a whole bunch of people. I just want to say hi real quick because we have like 150 people in here, and it just keeps all piling.
There's
in.
150 people came back for fur?
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
And there's, it just seems like there's more coming.
What are they saying in the chat? Read it out. So people on the
okay.
replay are like
So
not penalizing us for just talking.
I'm not even kidding. It's like right. So screaming at the top of her lungs. I am lost 83 was like, what is that thing moving in the background? Looks like slow water. And then everyone else is like explaining what that is over there with the.
I brought these back single-handedly. I brought Simply Simmons brushes back and rain lamps, which
So
you can probably find used on eBay.
It's a retro rain lamp. And we're actually getting a lot of questions about the rain lamp, so we'll do.
John's actually going to do a special treat in case you bought a rain lamp to make sure you get it working.
Yeah, we'll do some rain
I'm not
lamp.
saying you're going to see John, but you might see John.
There'll be some stunt.
It'll be
hand
sure.
action.
I might be on the other side of the control panel. Could happen.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Some Sherpa button pushing.
Some Sherpa button pushing. All right.
Okay, so
Fur.
hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hi, hugs. Hi, Curtis. You're new here for the first time. So
Curtis is new here for the first time?
Yep, he just shouted it.
Curtis, we take forever to get going. YouTube constantly gives us grief about it.
But in the meantime, we're now up to 170 people.
We do get going, and this is going to have an index, so you can come back and get what you need out of it.
Oh, I need to RoboCam the lamp. They're right. That's what I should do.
Is RoboCam the lamp?
I should put a RoboCam in the lamp.
So I'm going to put out a little blue, phthalo blue. You're like, what? I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to grab some burnt umber. And this is going to be the basis of some thoughts about black fur.
Your palette's kind of like half on one camera, half on another.
How do I fix
go
that?
the other way. Go the other way.
Okay, there you go.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. So, that's what I'm going to do for the basis. Don't put my brush in my coffee.
Don't eat paint. Don't drink paint.
I'm looking at my white fur, and I'm thinking I'm going to go with the basis of a little raw sienna. Oh, you know what I forgot to put out that I would put out?
Blending medium?
No, yes, but yellow ochre. There it is.
I guess something right that was not what you were thinking.
You guessed something right. Blending medium is great. If you're having trouble getting your acrylic paints to blend, blending mediums are great. I like acrylic retarder by Grumbacher quite a lot, and I also like Golden's retarder. I'm not saying these are equal products. I'm just saying I like them both.
Yeah.
Not at all speaking to anything else. Just like them both.
Oh.
So I'm putting out this this raw sienna here. I think that's a good base.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, are we zoomed in? I don't know we're zoomed in enough for the detail work that we're going to be doing. This is going to be black. This is going to be white.
Yeah, I'll zoom in on each. I tell you what, I'll just zoom in and you can move it around.
I'm going to do a little Cad Red light and burnt sienna for the, came dangerously close to my coffee. For my orange tabby fur, which is going to be right here.
But see, then you have to move it around.
No. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right, there we go. Because we're just going to be here. We're just right here. And then, trying to stay out of my coffee. Shows you how bad I need coffee. I'm trying to stay out of my coffee. I'm going to put just
Sorry
a
for the
little,
shaky camera there.
a smidge of my cad into my yellow ochre. And this is going to be the basis of maybe a little burnt and yellow ochre. This will become the basis of my brindle. So in all fur, you're going to want a base color. All right. In all fur, you're going to want a base color. Across the course of your pet, there might be several base colors. So when we did the pet portrait, we worked that out where we were, blocking in. We call it blocking in, which is basically kind of creating a roadmap of the underpainting undertones. So that's something to be thinking of.
Gotcha.
Now, black is super easy in a sense. It's just mentally hard. It's like smoke or glass or any of those things that are mentally hard but actually quite easy. So I'm going to get some of my black paint.
So Ethel had a question here. Please tell Cinnamon I've got the absorbent ground she used today and she loved it.
Oh, I don't blame you. I'm adding a smidge of white to, I like to do phthalo blue and my Mars black with a smidge of white. And I'm going to put in my first kind of layer of my fur. And in fur,
Now I'm gonna have to adjust the camera here on the fly so that we can see just all the contrast in that.
yeah,
so.
and it's going to be hard. And
There
fur,
we
this
go.
is a number 2 bright. This gives me a sharp edge. In fur, your first layer is about finding the flow of the fur. So the first thing you're going to be doing is the direction of the brush says a lot about what the fur is doing,
Yeah.
right?
Now,
A little white into that. And
Okay.
then we're going to come up here. Might need some flow agent here. Oof. I'm so glad that I like the absorbent ground.
yeah.
That is good news. I love that stuff. And I'm just kind of following along.
Now the camera is going to look a little wonky on the balance there because I have to adjust it so you can see those brush strokes. So,
Right, because the black is the hardest to see.
Yeah.
It's the hardest to teach. It's the hardest to see. And I'm also having to pay attention.
Can you pull that down just a touch towards you? I'm not sure if you can without putting your arm out there.
I think this is kind of
Is
my
that all
range.
right? Okay, cool. I can adjust the camera if we need
All
to.
right, it's okay. This is very short, actually. Now I'm going to put a little more blue into the mix and pull out a little more white. Hopefully, maybe John can make the black. I kind of know this, so I'm going to just go with what I know.
So if you move slowly, then I can adjust the camera to adjust to the different colors. See, as I darken it up, you lose the contrast of that as the colors get more accurate.
Okay,
So-
well, what I'm doing here to talk about this black fur, and this is what you would be doing on your cat or whatever, is I'm showing the highlight, the way the light reflects through the fur, and creates a reflection.
Yeah.
And so that starts to shape the cat, the dog, the face. So you're really actually looking for those reflections. Now up here I'm going to show you, and the undertones, right, are very impactful. Whether you have a kind of a blue underneath or a brown underneath is sort of the warm versus cool skin
Yeah.
of your pet. I'm going to get one of my detail brushes, which just means it's a teeny tiny little pointy brush,
Yeah.
right? And I'm going to I'm going to make sure I've got some flow agent on here. I'm going to load this up. And what I'm going to do is just work very detailed every once in a while. If your pet, right, has longer areas of hair,
Yeah.
especially on the black hair, you are going to have to paint out some of these detail hairs.
Ah.
My brush pressure is very light. Very light. You can kind of see the detail hairs are coming into being.
And I'm going to give a big hugs and thank you to all the people who've joined us today. We have a huge crowd out here with us. A lot of new people who've caught us for the first time live. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Please, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All the social media things you're supposed to do. We never remember to ask enough to get that done, but it does help get the word out. Let YouTube know that you guys like what you saw here, and help let other people see what we're doing. So we love it when we have a big crowd. So thanks, you guys.
So you see I'm creating these different highlights
Mm-hmm.
and these hairs that have caught the light. So when the hairs have a slightly blue cast to them,
Yep.
everything John said, by the way. When the hairs
She's
have,
working. She's like, I'm
I
working.
am. I'm teaching and John's socializing, and that's a good mix. I like very much in my black hair to put a blue cast. Sometimes you might do a warm cast depending on your pet and really look at that. But you can kind of see that is pretty much how you get your black fur to happen. And then once you have that, you might come back and get some very bright, much brighter white. Still a little bit off, still a little bit tinted or grayed. It's very rare that you're going to want just pure. And then you come and will create a highlight that happens right there, maybe at the top of a surface. So when you're looking at your photograph of your black cat,
I'm
I
just
think
letting
I
that-
gave you a photograph of a black cat to show.
Yeah, I think I have one over here.
Yeah.
It's not loaded, so I'll have to.
And paint my photo. But you could just literally look up black cat. If they're lit correctly, if they're not in indirect light, you're going to see these reflections on your black labs, on your black cat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that is about doing. See how that now looks like black fur, black hair, black some?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all it is.
that looks really neat.
Black fur. Black fur is the very easiest fur.
Thank you,
Everyone's
sir.
always like, so, oh no, I've got black fur. And I'm like, oh, you're so lucky.
It's so easy.
I mean, in and out of that painting in 2 minutes.
You got coffee going?
I do. Sippy, sippy. I
Sippy
got
the
some
coffee.
nice caramel coffee with a vanilla soy milk.
So Amy is asking, thanks Flame. So Amy's asking about how would I do all the wrinkles on a pug's face? And we're actually going to cover that, aren't you?
We are going to cover wrinkle fur.
Cool.
Wrinkle fur, wrinkle fur, wrinkle fur. So I'm pulling a little of my raw sienna and a little of my Indian yellow, and
Yeah.
I'm going to do some white. And I'm going to look at what I've got here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of painting in
You know, bring that forward just a touch.
some shadow. I'm following some
See, we have-
photographs, and so I'm just sort of following the shadow in the photographs.
See if you push that up just a touch.
Yes, I can.
I know you're
It's
arm
okay.
sore, so I just want to make sure we're.
No, thank you. I love you. Thank you. I'm okay, everybody. Don't say anything because I get all panicky. No, we're fine. We really, really, really wanted to cover this much more specifically.
Yeah.
So see, I'm looking at my reference photo and I'm looking for some shadows that I see in here. And so this is starting to create the dimension of my hair. You know, when I did Shep, because it was large fields of hair, I didn't have to worry about these specific macro details. But, you know, on this one I do, and that's fine. I don't mind. So, just painting some of these in, and that creates some of this wonderful dimensionality. Now I'm going to wipe off my brush, just get some more white on there. But it's not pure white, it's off white.
Uh-huh.
And then I come back and I'm paying attention to the direction of my fur.
Gotcha. So Mark's going to be emailing you some questions he has about specifics on
Is
painting.
it zombie fur?
No. This is, I'm going to let that one come in email.
Is it adult fur?
No.
See, you gotta get scared when Mark asks a question. You gotta be concerned. So right now you're feeling like, oh, this is more like, you know, kind of maybe like a golden retriever or something. But actually, the white fur has a lot of layers. To get white to come up, there's so many layers that you've got to have happen with your white fur.
Yeah, for those who aren't with us live in the chat, you're just gonna have to come live to see some of this.
Yeah. Oh, you can't read it out loud?
Oh, I could, but it's just so much more fun.
No, I think that you got to read it out loud every once in a while.
So Mark wants to know how you could paint a naked mole rat.
You know what? Honestly, Mark, I think that's going to be quinacridone red
Yeah.
and quinacridone violet.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been looking at that lately, thinking, how would I do that? And I think I would get my quins out, and that's how I would get those hues. And I'm not really sure what my I don't know if I would go green on the deep tones, or blue. I haven't really experimented with it enough.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about it. Naked mole rat. So Kim Possible.
See, here's the thing. Everyone's like, how would she know that? How would she know that? And I'm like, there was once upon a time we were D&D gamers hardcore, and we had, I don't know, hundreds of painted miniatures. Hundreds of them.
That's not where I learned it.
And I mean, like, you don't think that there was a naked mole rat in my collection, but there was, and she painted it. And that's how awesome my wife is.
Okay, you weirdo. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to start adding like more and more of these white highlights. I've got my detail brush out now. And now I'm going to start finding these very specific hairs to start singling out. And white fur is...
There's just stunned silence between the two of us like, did we tell them too much about our history?
No.
Everyone out in channel's laughing really funny.
Oh, no, I don't think I've hidden my D&D past. It's not like I was going to like be like, it never happened. So
No.
see, as we're pulling that in, how that becomes more and more... And what the undertones are is that's the shadow of how deep the fur is. When the fur is deep and close to the skin, it will take on tones. If you wanted to say this was an albino, you actually would do pink tones underneath. You would actually do that. You would actually have pink tones underneath, which is pretty cool. So that would make, like, if you were doing like a rabbit... And that would be a different kind of white. And then there's a blue tone that you could do underneath.
Man, you're so fast.
I am
You're just
fast.
jumping back and forth over there so quickly. So I'm like,
Oh, it's okay. They know I'm just getting white. Just getting white.
but you're not just getting white. See, that's the thing. Hold on, stop. Right there. See, that's not just white. You got a little bit of mix of white and what?
And the raw sienna.
See? That's what I'm talking about. You got to slow down. So you're mixing, see, and you're just layering a little bit of that mixed on top of the white there.
Yeah, and I'm just building up this texture and this layer until it starts to feel like white fur.
Oh.
And that's what we're trying to make.
Now, now, as you go off there, I noticed that your brush stroke is getting lighter.
Yeah, if I lighten, if I'm lightening my brush stroke, it trims out or thins out the tip of it, which makes it feel more like fur. That's how I get that soft point.
So it's almost like dry brushing at the end.
Yeah, it's just about kissing the canvas, not to be all bob on you. Now, one little weird thing that you could do, I'm going to use some flow paint. This is
Where's
fluid.
Which one? That we can't
This
see
is
it
the
there.
fluid paint. Well, all this is just like this. So same amount of pigment, it just doesn't have the thickeners, the stuff that gives it the body.
So you're using
It still has a medium. It's still a binder.
it's a white flow paint you're using?
Yeah, fluid.
Or white fluid paint?
So just a hint of blue
Uh-huh.
on this.
Is there any chance you could scoot that more towards the center of the screen so they can see that a little there? Other way. There you go.
Yeah.
They can see that a little better.
That's
there.
another thing. Sometimes you can use like having a slightly different undertone to cause some of the hairs to also really show up and feel like hairs.
So just a little bit of that blue is okay in there, huh?
Just a little bit. It's a thing that you can do. See how it's starting to feel like white fur?
Yeah. And you're just pulling more and more white as you go?
Yeah, I'm just pulling more and more white as I go.
And
Look at that. I don't know. Can you guys see that? Does it show
Yeah.
up on camera?
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to adjust the camera to optimize that one a little bit more because I have to do it for each
I think,
each
yeah, it's a
color.
little hot, a little washed out, so you don't see all the tonality.
Let's see what I can do. See, there we go. I can pull it down a little bit. See how it doesn't. There we go.
All right.
So we can get some of that down there a little bit.
Oh, goodness. Don't swallow your coffee like that. That'll just hurt. So I'm going to do a little brindle right here.
Okay.
And the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to get a little burnt and a little black. So it's not like a true black. It's a little slightly chocolatey black.
Yeah.
And I'm going
There you
to,
go.
can you remove that black thumbnail over the brindle? Make
Oh.
the brindle a little bigger.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
That'll help me. You cannot paint what you can't see. So if you can get close-up pictures of your pet, this will always help you. All right, this is always, always, always going to help you if you can get this. So this is, I'm putting in the burnt umber and the black on a number 2 bright, very stiff bristle brush.
Yeah, so you have to adjust for the whites differently than you do the blacks.
Yeah,
So
it's just crazy. It's
the
like
camera's like, what are you
this
doing?
is why a lot of people. It's hard to do this. It's just hard to do this. It's nearly impossible to do it live. But if you can,
These cameras make it a lot easier because I don't have to run out there and adjust them. I just have to remember when we're going. See, like if you'll hold on just there, I'll see if I can optimize that one. See, I can get a little more brush stroke out of that one, but it loses some of the whites in the other one.
So this is a bit like paying attention to zebra.
Now,
And I'm just making the pattern. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you're looking at your brindles, like what is the pattern? How does the pattern look on your pet?
and this is just the undercoat of that pattern.
Well, this is just, the undercoat was this kind of color we put in first, which I think was the raw sienna and the burnt umber.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to get some yellow ochre, I think. No, I think we're going to get some raw sienna first, mix it with some yellow ochre. I think you could do just a yellow ochre, but I'm going to be, annoying. A little white. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to add this. And I'm just doing these short strokes.
Now, would you consider doing a bird feather tutorial on this?
Yes. I'm actually starting to see we need these pullouts because, again, sometimes just seeing somebody do it, I grabbed a little white on that.
Yeah.
Sometimes just seeing somebody do it really, really helps see how it's done. So my pressure's very light. Very, very light. See how that just starts to make that happen?
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not terrible. It's just about just slowing down and being in the presence of what you're working on. Brush strokes are pretty short because this is a short-haired. Generally, brindles are short-haired, I think.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think because I am not an expert in brindle.
All the brindles we've had have been short-haired.
Yeah, I think I'm basing that right now on just all the brindles we've ever had being short-haired. All right, you can come back and you can pick up some just black. And in a couple spots here, you can...
So I'm going to try to optimize that a little bit more. So hold on just...
It's hard to see it with the blacks. I know that they're kind of hard.
I just want to make sure. See, this is going to kind of wash out the whites a bit, but we'll see what we can do to...
That's okay. We'll just... You optimize, see
there
what
we
you
go.
can get.
We can get some...
And now I'm going to... And then if you really want to take it to another level, you can kind of see how the brindle works, right?
Yeah.
You can get back in your detail brush if you felt like it.
Yeah.
And you can take some of your yellow ochre and your titanium white. I'm using the flow here. And you can come back in some spots with your detail brush and tell a highlight of that fur if you felt like it. Not that hard. Just pay attention to the directionality. The fact that some of these might be more detailed and highlighted and really showing up.
Yeah.
And that's okay. See how that starts to look like brindle fur?
Yeah. So there's everyone really...
Is this helpful? That would be my
Yeah.
next question. Is
So-
this helping everybody?
Yeah, so it's very funny. So like, there's a couple people like, oh, this will help with like my guinea pig.
Yeah.
And I think that a bird feather tutorial.
I think we need to do scales and feathers for sure.
Oh yeah,
Scales and feathers.
We got to cover some blendy scales.
Even though probably the dragon covered a lot of scale information.
We did. Oh my gosh! Thank you, Ravenous. She just pointed out. She's like, "There's 186 people here," and I was like, "Oh."
Who are ready to fur it up.
Well, she was like saying, "Hey, but there's only 82 likes, and you guys need to get out there and like." And I'm kind of like, "Yeah." But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. So I was kind of glad that she did. So yeah, go comment, like, and subscribe.
Yes, it does help us.
It does.
So what happens is, if you're wondering like ways, there's a lot of non-monetary ways to help a channel.
Yeah.
Whenever you share, whenever you comment, and whenever you like, YouTube says, "Oh, this sucks less."
Then all the
So
other
we'll
stuff
show
out
it
there.
to some more people.
Yeah.
And the more of those comments that you get, likes and shares and subscriptions, the more YouTube likes to show it to some people.
And we like all of you guys out here hanging out with us because it's more fun. So
And it does, and it helps the channel. It helps us keep making videos. All of that helps because there's a lot of non-monetary ways to help the channel.
Yep.
You know, closed captioning videos,
Yes.
getting the word out there, letting people know where the great art content is coming from,
sharing pictures.
letting us know, sharing pictures,
your
letting us
pictures.
know what you like about what we're doing so we can do it better. All those things help.
Yep.
There's
So-
a lot of weird ways
Yeah.
because
And-
we're community.
And there's more exciting stuff coming. There's
Yes,
just like
so much.
Oh, and like
We're just trying. I mean, seriously, this is us trying not to overwhelm you with 2 lessons. You want to give me an orange tabby cat?
okay, fine.
It's kind of similar to what I just did on a brindle, but you
All
know,
right, hold on. I'm gonna have to go do some keyboard pushing. This one.
the orange. There you go. Which is kind of really what we just did.
Okay.
I don't even know. I pulled that out as a separate thing because really it's what we just did.
All right.
Okay.
So now that we're on that, so we're gonna be back on the palette here on your on your pictures real quick. If you'll
Yeah.
pull down, you're gonna be working in the orange space.
I'll pull it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna adjust the camera back down to be a little more averaged for the
Okay.
two of those.
All right. I'm going to add a little Cad red to my burnt sienna.
Okay.
This is the Cad red light. And I'm going to sit there and say, looking at this little picture here that we've got, and this might be a little hard to see at first. Doing little short brush strokes. I'm just trying to give the essence of Tabby. Just so you can kind of see. Tabbies actually, to me, brindles are not like zebras. Brindles patterns are much more broken. But tabbies tend to actually be a little more reminiscent, having done zebra all over my daughter's room, because that's what she wanted was pink and black zebra.
Now I heard that all zebras have like a similar pattern.
Huh?
Do all zebras have the same pattern?
No, they don't have the same pattern by any means. But they have a formula to their pattern, which you can kind of learn.
Huh.
So when you're trying to create just zebra from your head, you can be like, well, I know the stripes will probably do this set of things in some combination. And so you try to make sure that you cover that.
There's me putting the Sherpa on the spot. Do all zebras have the same stripe
It's
pattern?
not really even that much of a spot, because the answer would be no. All right, I'm taking a little of my Cad red light over to my yellow ochre. I'm putting just a slightly orange cast to that, and I'm going to start pulling this out. And I'm just going to pull this out. And you can see this is, again, very short brush strokes, so I'm not specifically worried about what's happening here. Just kind of coming along, enjoying the pattern. This is a lot like a Zentangle. You can believe me, right now, at this second, my blood pressure is super low.
Yeah.
And I'm just having a nice time. You know. And I might come and add a little of my, I might do a little of my Indian yellow and my light Cad and add some white to that. So it's just a little orange.
So yeah, we've got so
We're going to come back and kind of orange this up a little bit.
do you happen to remember an email about asking for some help on horses
No,
a couple weeks ago?
no, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We get a lot of emails, so I was just happened to see if you happen to remember one from.
And I'm sometimes at the mercy of whether social media even delivers stuff to me, which
Yeah.
I'm learning. But I did miss that, and I'm sorry if I did.
That's okay. I was just curious if it rung a bell, because you know we're constantly just grinding through all this stuff. We try to get to them all, but
Okay.
so if you want to ask your question about in chat, we'll try to get to it today.
All right. So I'm just sort of defining up the little stripes here a little bit. And another thing that I can do is on tabbies, on the outer edges, like they have areas that are much lighter in their fur. So I'm going to add that. Here going out.
Now,
So just having some fun painting that in.
Crystal was asking about an Italian Mastiff pattern, and I think that is a brindle, isn't it?
I think, well, it depends. I think they can be liver and brindle, and it would be a similar formulation to this. You would just have to really get up close into your, sometimes I'm going to make you guys do the work.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Somebody.
I'm so mean, but sometimes I'm going to make y'all look it up or get an up-close photograph or specifically drill down because there's an infinite amount of fur pattern in the world.
There are.
And I'm going to cover some general concepts, but not all the concepts.
That's true.
All right. So I'm going to take...
It's a blue-gray brindle.
Ah. Well, we kind of covered some of those colors with the Shepard, and then I'd be just applying the brindle to it.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got some Indian yellow and some white, and I'm going to come in and make sure that I define some hairs.
So we'll figure out we'll put up another scheduled one for feathers and scales.
Yeah, I think we need to do feathers and scales.
Yeah.
This is fun, actually.
I like it.
It's relaxing. I know it's kind of a marathon today, but, if you were sitting there just stuck with your Tabby, this will help. If you're stuck with your white friend, this will help.
Mm-hmm. So what are you doing
sienna there? I'm grabbing some raw sienna.
Yeah.
And adding a little white to it, so maybe I can add some highlights even into the darker stripes.
And it looks like you had a little yellow on it, too.
It might have been left over. But it's just trying to create some texture. So you see how there's now kind of a brindle texture here?
Yeah.
We've got some black fur. We've got some white fur. We've got this fur. What is next?
Wow, that's really cool. So you should move those around there for a second, and then...
There we go. There we go. I'm going to have a sippy.
You're going to have sippy. Do you like this fur?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
I gave you... They're numbered in chat. So you've done 1, 2, 3, and 4. You need to do 5, 6, 7.
There's 5. Oops, that's 6. 7.
Yeah, curly, you're definitely going to have to blow up for me.
Which one do you want? Curl?
Okay, go back. There.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Everyone's like, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at kind of this long fur.
This is husband and wife code.
Husband and wife code. And I guess I'm going to turn it around just because that takes the least movement in the camera.
Yeah, that works.
And I might go a little more vertical. I'm going to take a little blue into my burnt. And I'm going to paint this very deep dark undertone.
Now, should we show them what your reference here is?
Yeah, this is kind of like a Shepard or wolf fur I'm referencing. So yeah, you can. Well, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let me see if I can come over here and then I want to get that up close for everyone to be able to see it. And you getting some. And then here. There we go. And then you can kind of see this is sort of a longer hair, bristly fur.
Yeah. That you might have if you were doing a wolf or, a Shepard or any of, the working dogs. So I'm going to do a darker color to start that out.
And
I'm not even going to rinse my brush out. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some, little burnt and some yellow ochre. Not totally yellow ochre. I want it tinted and toned back. And I'm going to start making little brush strokes about the directionality that I'm seeing in this fur.
I'm going to adjust this up so I can get some more contrast on those darker colors in there. Sorry, it throws the white balance off, or not the white balance, but the color, you know.
I'm doing a number 4
Anyway,
bright from
you can see
Simply
it.
Simmons. I'm doing a number 4 bright from Simply Simmons. You know, and I'm trying to follow some of the direction and stuff that I'm seeing in the fur. Right? I'm going to pull a little of the, you know, black out. I'm going to come here and, you know, talk about that just a little bit. So I see that happening, and maybe pull. I see a couple spots of black up in the fur. I'm coming back with that. This is just, I'm not really painting fur. When I'm painting hair, if I'm painting fur, if I'm painting feathers, I'm just painting tones. I'm just painting light and shadow. That's all I'm doing. And to the degree that I can see that and slow down and talk about that, the realism effect will go up. You know, and that is something that, you know, some artists really, really, really chase and some don't. It's not the holy grail of all art. It's just something you can do. I've added a little white to my brush. Very light stroke here. Just a little bit on the fur here. See how it's already starting to be furry?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. This is a very dry brush.
Wow, that really just.
It's a crazy fast thing when it starts to happen. It's crazy fast. I'm not rinsing the black off.
Okay.
I'm going to come over to my yellow ochre. I've got a little black on my brush. Getting some yellow ochre. And I'm going to come back. And now I'm going to look for some areas to pick up. So it's not super bright. Right? Stuff in nature is either trying to hide or it's trying to tell you that it's going to mess you up.
Sometimes both.
Sometimes both. So a little bit of this is about, it's not going to be that vibrant yellow because that wouldn't be helpful to hiding. Now I've got this sort of yellow gray. Come get some white. Mix them up on my brush. And I'm going to also find those highlight spaces in the fur here. This is longer fur. It's a little bit like waves. It's a little bit like a wave.
And, you know, a lot of the dogs will be similar. So, like, you know,
this is very much like a shepherd. Actually, I think this was a shepherd, but this is also very much like a wolf. Certain breeds have a lot in common with their wild ancestors, and that's cool.
And like today we did Shep, who was a
collie.
A
a Sheltie, right?
Maybe a Sheltie, but it's going to be very similar to Australian Shepherd or like a blue heeler or any like the intelligent working shepherding dogs that can be similar. So you can look at these and see, find the similarities in the patterns and then just apply that to your own pet.
Yeah. So there we go. There's some fur.
Even if it's a dire wolf.
Even if it's a dire wolf. Look at that. Look at that. Jon Snow, wolf. So there you go. Can you give me Curly? Curly's a big pain, but we're going to show Curly. Blow that up as big as you can. So we're going to capture the essence of this. We'd be here for 5 hours if we tried to capture every detail. I'm going to mix a little blue.
Can I show them what you're going to be doing?
Yeah.
This is what we're going to look for, guys.
Some version of
Curly.
Some version of Curly. That's overdone,
That's
but there
Curly.
wasn't a lot of great reference.
Yeah, so she was just looking for some reference there.
Of Curly that I could work from, because there's just some concepts I want to share with you. So I've taken a little brown to a little blue to a little black, and I want a cool base to whatever's happening here.
Now, what's interesting is I wanted to point out to everybody is that what she's actually using as reference really isn't what she's painting. She's just looking at the curls and the fibers and those things. I'm not trying to paint. I'm not trying to paint it from memory. I'm painting it from more informed place. Now, and for you at home, what that means is that don't be concerned if you don't have the exact breed of dog as your reference, because curly hair and straight hair and stringy hair are all similar, and you just need to recognize the difference between colors and textures.
Exactly.
So, as the Sherpa
I'm looking at
stares
this
at the
right now.
carpet,
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to go down to a smaller brush.
All right,
I'm gonna need a
Sherpa.
small instead of I need a bigger boat. I'm gonna need a smaller brush.
Now, as the Sherpa stares down the curls stare the Sherpa back.
The curls stare the Sherpa back. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my blue and my brown and a little black. I'm gonna add some white to it. It still needs just a little more brown. And we'll start the curls.
All right.
Oh, curls are just a thing. All right, so just keep that reference there for me.
I'm going to take it away right when you need it the most.
Don't. 'Cause this is a hot mess. It's going to be a whole thing to do.
No reference for you.
But if you have curly pets, this can be overwhelming, and I just want to show you some ways that you can, you know, look at this and try to solve these problems. You know, in your painting. Because that's what you're just trying to do. You're always just solving problems in your painting. And to the degree that you can do that, you'll be doing great. You know?
Mm-hmm.
A very tight curly hair can be harder to do. Like everyone's like, it's the black cat, it's the white. No, it's the curly. That's the one where you're like, oh no, they got a curly dog. So we're just trying to build the body of the texture first. Just something that feels like that texture we were looking at. Not a perfect representation of it. If you're doing hyperrealism, the fact is you're going to have to slow down and literally capture every single perfect wrinkle.
Now, I noticed there on the curls that you added there as your first layer, those had a lot of variety from them. It doesn't look like you pulled them from the same place.
Well, no, I mean, what do you mean? I don't understand even what you're saying.
So they you know, some are lighter, some are darker there.
Oh, you know what? It's as long as they're all darker than this highlight hair I'm about to do, we're good.
Okay.
I just need them, and I don't want them to all be the same tonality because then they won't feel like hair.
Okay, so you're intentionally trying to get them to be a little different color gradation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, so you're just highlighting the top of these.
Yup.
Oh, neat.
If you're good at Zentangling, you've just found your jam. I'm always talking about this is your jam. Is this your jam? This may be.
So the highlights are actually where the curls come from.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
It's just about having your little moment. With this curly hair. I'm hoping this is useful.
Dorothy's like, I'm going to go groom my dog and then paint her.
You know? A little bit of preparation saves you from a lot of exhaustion later. Doggy, I gotta straighten your hair. Don't move.
No curls.
Yeah. There's a bunch of dogs universally going, yow, 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 yow. Just trying to tell the story of this. And right now I'm doing it in a painterly fashion. You can really drill down on this nonsense.
And when you say painterly, what do you mean?
I mean, kind of loose, kind of open, kind of implied. If you were doing this like in hyperrealism, you'd be like micro inch working, like, and you would zoom in so far, and you would catch every single tonal variance. It is not hard. Other than labor intensive.
Gotcha. So
but it is really labor intensive. Like it could take an hour, 2 hours to do this much space. in a more realistic style. I mean, that's when people are talking about, I spent 1,000 hours on this piece.
Right, because they're just having to.
Yeah, because they're catching everything. We did that a little bit on our realistic eye. Not even as much as we could have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then if you blow it up bigger and then you do it, then it's a whole thing. Someday I feel like I should just like throw down the hyper realistic gauntlet on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like paint for like do some stunt like where I'm painting for like 4 Week Street, like the biggest, most realistic thing ever. But I feel like then everyone won't have tutorials and they'll be bored and they'll go away. Is she still painting that crazy thing? Yes. That will never stop.
The endless paint-a-thon.
Yeah, it would be. But it'd be fun to do.
It would be fun. Everyone's like, yes! Do it!
Yeah, but the fear is like, so I'll get there and I'll be doing the paint-a-thon. And at first you guys will be there like for day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. But where will you be day 5, day 6, day 7? Get up at 10, go to work, go to bed. I mean, it's like that. I mean, you can do it. You do big 48, 16, you just blow it up and you macro work your way through a piece. Wow. You can have a piece that's more real than real life.
Yeah.
And you guys see this in the thing. It's like a real fun thing that you can do.
But, I mean, that's also like, you have to be sort of chasing something there, you know? To be, that's a, like.
It's just relaxing. I'm not, it's just relaxing. I've done it. You've seen me do it. You know, it's just relaxing. It's just, do you have the commitment to go back to the canvas every day and work on that same piece again and again and again and again and stay focused? You can see the curly hair is actually coming together here.
Yes. And Lisa's like, you should remind everyone to like, comment, like, subscribe, share with friends. So, yes, thank you guys all for coming.
There we go. Curly hair. Let's see it.
Curly hair.
So that's kind of how you would get some curly hair in
Yeah.
if you had some curly hair that you had to do. If you had to do, like you do. Wrinkles, John. You want to pull up the wrinkles?
Yeah. Wrinkly. All right, let me see here. There.
Yep. All right.
So let me show everybody our wrinkles.
Yeah, so
Wrinkle
this is the wrinkles
dog.
we're talking about.
This is what we're going to do next.
Okay, so what I'm going to say about this is if we all observe this for just a couple seconds, right, you're going to see that there's highlights, a mid-tone, and a low light, and there's a pattern.
Yeah.
So guess what it is in wrinkles? Guess what we have to do?
Highlights, lowlights.
Yes. That's really all it is that we've got to, I'm pulling some burnt out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just kind of sketch it in. I'm not even going to be that crazy. I'm going to just like be like, okay, so I got like a little thing here. Make sure I've got, you know, where I've got to be where it's easy for John to follow me.
Lisa's like, I'd be there on day 5, and I'd be there to remind you to tell everyone else to call the actions too. And I'm like, yeah, probably true.
You know what? At some point, some punk person's going to come by and be like, Sherpa can't even paint, and it's going to make me mad. And then y'all will be kidnapped into Sherpathon.
Actually, I think probably like this summer, after VidCon.
That'd be a fun thing to do. Just a marathon run.
Well, I was thinking just a giant canvas would be fun to do because, you know, you do those giant canvases so cool.
Well, you know what? Here would be really fun. We got some permission from a very special photographer to collab with him. And I've been trying to figure out an honest way to do this because I feel like these images would teach y'all something just amazing.
Yeah.
About art. And his would be perfect to do. Plus, I would really like to own the painting after.
Yeah. All right. So let's see about putting that on the schedule for right after VidCon.
You want to do that right after VidCon?
Yeah.
And it would take me to do a 4860 would take me like forever.
Yeah. So we could just have this in the corner going.
But that's all we'd be doing for a little bit. So I'm just trying to see my patterns of wrinkles. Just following. I'm drawing in my wrinkles. I love wrinkles on a dog. I don't know why I went country on that. But it just feels like, I just really wish we could Have a dog. There's a flea epidemic in our neighborhood.
No fleas.
Yeah, there's just actually no way to control them. The epidemic is so bad. So pets here are just miserable, even with ABC or any of that, and Top Spot and all that. And if the pet is allergic to fleas, this is like they just went to the worst place on earth.
Yeah.
Which is so sad. All right, I'm going to grab some, I think I'll use a base of my raw. Just put that, I'm going to use that as my, just try to, kind of round out my little wrinkle here. So a lot of what I've got to do when I'm doing this is paint in a kind of, map and then come back with a lot of detail work. Is generally what I'm often thinking. This part is not the fastest. If you have a pet that's got wrinkles, you'd be working. It's okay. You just know you'll be working. Just be like, baby, you made me work. You made mommy work really, really hard to paint you. But you've got to get the shades.
You're just trying to get those
values in.
Yeah, the different values blocked in.
Before going to town on the detail work.
I see.
Because then you can go to town on detail work once you block in some values. I feel like there's some of this going on right here. A lot of this is like anything else. It's how long can you hang in?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for the highlights and, making sure that I'm covering like, hey, where would this highlight be?
That's really neat.
What, building up the wrinkle story?
Yeah.
Build up the wrinkle story.
Are you tired, Sherpa?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Are you?
But I'm happy, so it's okay.
Why are you tired?
Of
You haven't done
painting
anything.
today? I don't know. It'll be like 4 hours of painting by the time we're all said and done.
Really?
Yeah, plus designs, plus research. Come on, babe.
Oh, don't
You know it.
complain.
You know it.
It's not that much.
It's that much.
It couldn't be. We've just been at it this couple hours today. I think that's what it is.
That's all it is. It's
How-
just
you know.
time. Okay. Alrighty then.
See, this isn't hard for me. I just push buttons.
I'm going to take some yellow ochre over to my white. Load up my brush. And get my first little series of highlight hairs to start going.
They're all telling me I'm making you work too hard. I've got to see what you guys don't know is I have her chained to that desk.
Don't say that. You're like honey. You got to filter. Filter.
I don't have her chained to the desk.
Yeah, but there's somebody somewhere who's going to be like,
Oh,
I can't believe you chained people to the desk.
You're
Or,
being mean to my Sherpa.
I think my very favorite is I liked you until I knew that you had animals on your show, and I don't like it when people, exploit animals.
You mean Greta walked through and licked your leg?
No, it was that vintage footage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I was like, why are you on YouTube? This is like the home of cat videos. I'm so confused by what you're saying to me. It's
I
so
don't know.
funny. I
That's
mean,
so weird.
it is, but mostly I just hear about y'all's happy pets.
I like the
And your
post.
happy grandchildren and your happy kids and how you did some painting for somebody that you love.
You know what I love about my kids is
Hmm.
that they think that because they closed the cloth curtain
That we can't hear
that
them
we can't-
anymore.
yeah, we can't hear them anymore.
You know what? It's their summer. We're just along for the ride. So I'm just trying to make sure I've got these like little hairs and highlights. I'm following the directionality of what's going on. Maybe I'll get some dark brown, and you come back and you add some dark brown.
I never know if I never know if Ethel is having me on. She's like, it's 11 p.m. here in Guatemala. I'm like,
You don't know with Ethel.
I don't know. Are you really in Guatemala today, Ethel?
She might be.
She could be.
She could be. See, so got a little crazy there. It's okay. We're just trying to tell the story. So wrinkly dogs, right, have lots and lots and lots of little short hairs over their little wrinkles. And we're just trying to catch the direction of those wrinkles. Are we starting to kind of see that come together?
Yeah. That's looking really cool.
That's all we're doing. We're just telling this wrinkle story. This dog did not go to the doctor for Botox.
He has Sharpay head.
Huh?
Sharpay head.
Yeah.
Super wrinkly dogs.
Well, hopefully our neighborhood will someday address this strange epidemic. I think it's actually, the thing is that when, here you go. Just telling the story. Tell the story of each little hair, and you'll get there. And that's what you're trying to do. You know, you're telling a little story. See how the wrinkles are starting to be there, and it's starting to feel like hair, and that the wrinkles are still remaining. That's what you're doing. That is what you're doing. You know, and then you can load up on some black, believe it or not, because there's these weird little dark hairs that are also intermixed there.
That adds a lot of depth.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And then you do them lighter in the lighter areas and more together in the darker areas. So, like where this wrinkle is, you'd go heavier with this.
Gotcha.
But you might open it up a little bit. Just saying, because they have the sort of tipped hairs.
Uh-huh.
See how it's starting to be a thing?
I do.
So that's what it is. It's just about, and then you just be here for a while. Those of you with wrinkle pets, it was good knowing you. Hope it works out.
Short hair, wrinkly pets. You're going to just be brushing for a while.
Well, just painting. Yeah.
Little brushwork.
Little brushwork for a while.
So pugs.
Or some work, man.
Yeah.
There's some work. There you go, though. So here you go. There's this wrinkle.
Yeah.
Some wolf and curly. Black, white, brindle. And so what we'll do.
What are we going to do?
We're going to make that indexy thing.
Yes, I will index this, timestamp it, and...
So you can go back through, find what you need to find. I really, 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 really hope you guys do a bunch of pet portraits.
Yes,
and
I
we
wanna
will do
see
feathers,
them.
and we will do scales.
Yeah, I would definitely want to see those.
I might even add a realistic bird eye and a realistic reptile eye to scale and feathers when we cover those.
Yeah, you think
If
so?
that's okay. Well, just because, like, that helps, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I'll do that, and then that should be getting you to that place where you're like, I'm painting this, I'm painting that, I'm painting this. I'm just dropping it. I don't know, like full-scale assault on the world. Was my sound really bad?
No, your sound's great.
Okay, because it was a really weird location.
I know, but I got you.
Okay. Grape.
I got to go feed the Sherpa guys.
My daughter. Wait.
All right.
She brought me a little cup of fruit because she's worried. Like, that cup of fruit ain't going to help, Mama, but thank you. Bring me a chicken.
All right.
I've been here a little bit. So,
like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, and
share
subscribe.
Your pictures.
Share. Practice your textures.
Yeah.
Get those close-up pictures of your pets. Look to see if they have two kinds of textures in their fur. Look to see what kind of colors they have in their fur. Think about the ways that you might get those colors mixed. You know, have fun. Don't expect everything to happen the first time you try it. Sometimes you got to try it a couple times for it to gel, and that's totally okay. That's normal.
Yeah.
That happens for me.
Yeah.
Everybody sometimes has to try it a couple times to get it to gel, and then you're like, oh, that works really, really well. And then, you know, hopefully that makes it easier for you to get that out there.
Yeah.
You know, and do that. And I hope that you guys are going to paint all the different kinds of pets that you have. I hope we've covered enough fur to kind of cover what we didn't cover in the main fur thing.
Yeah. I think we did. I think we got a lot of it.
I want to see you
Everybody
guys
sees
the easel really soon. Watch for the contest and rain lamp information
Yes.
to follow.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Come join us live Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 11 a.m. Central, or enjoy one of the hundreds of paintings available on replay anytime